What's good, YouTube? This your boy Nick, and I'm back with another video, as you can see. And today we are watching Michael Jackson's suspicious near-death experiences. Man, wow. I don't think I've ever seen this. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, man, let's just get into the video.
Michael Jackson's sudden death in 2009 resulted in an unprecedented level of public mourning never previously seen in living memory. Although his passing was a shock at the time, Michael Jackson had actually had several brushes with death throughout his lifetime. Some with unsettling details that I warn may shock you. Here's the detail. In his one and only autobiography, Moonwalk, Jackson describes the creation of his iconic hit song, Billie Jean, in which its creation almost had him killed in a freak occurrence. Michael Jackson recounted, quote, "One day during a break in a recording session, I was riding down the Ventura Freeway with Nelson Hayes, who was working with me at the time. I was writing the song Billie Jean and the words were going around in my head. That's all I was thinking about while driving. Then we were getting off the freeway when a kid on a motorcycle pulls up to us and says, 'Stop your car! Your car, it's on fire!' Suddenly, we noticed the smoke and pulled over, and the whole bottom of the Rolls Royce was on fire. The whole car was engulfed in flames. Quote, that kid probably saved our lives. If the car had exploded, we would have been killed. But I was so absorbed by this tune floating in my head that I didn't even focus on the awful possibilities until later."
Wow.
Another near-death experience came on September 11th, 2001. Yep, you may not have known this, but Michael Jackson could have easily ended up a victim of the 9/11 terrorist attacks in New York City if he hadn't been saved by his own mother. It was a close call for the King of Pop, as according to his brother's autobiography, on this day, Michael had a meeting scheduled in at the Windows on the World restaurant, at the top floors, 106th and 107th of the North Tower of the World Trade Center. However, the night before, Jackson had performed to an audience of thousands at Madison Square Garden as part of his televised 30th anniversary celebration in honor of Jackson's 30th year as a solo artist. Once the performance was over and he was back at the hotel, Michael received a late-night phone call from his mother, and the singer then stayed up till the early hours of the morning talking to her. Exhausted from the previous day's events, last minute, Michael Jackson canceled the early morning meeting to return a $2 million watch and a diamond necklace for Elizabeth Taylor they had worn for the concert. Seeing the day's atrocity unfold on the news, and knowing her son had a planned meeting at the top of one of the towers, Katherine Jackson started frantically calling her son's hotel to make sure he was safe. Jermaine wrote, quote, "Thankfully, none of us had a clue that Michael was due at a meeting that morning at the top of one of the twin towers. We only discovered this when Mother phoned his hotel." Bewildered, Michael picked up his phone. "What? You kept me up talking so late that I overslept and missed my appointment. What's wrong?" Unknowingly, this call saved Michael Jackson from certain death and the attack that cost the lives of 2,753 people. Another much-reported freak instance that could have proven fatal for the King of Pop was on January 27th, 1984, while filming a Pepsi commercial. On this day, Michael and his brother were filming a quasi-concert performance inside Los Angeles' Shrine Auditorium. With the venue filled with 3,000 screaming fans, the Jacksons finally hit the stage. During filming, Jackson had completed 5 takes of the same shot, appearing at the top of a short flight of stairs and dancing down as fireworks were let off around him. Suddenly, there was a blinding explosion at the center of the stage, much larger than in previous takes.
And this really messed him up for the rest of his life. Another fact too, I feel like this incident was one of the reasons he was on them painkillers bad. You know what I'm saying? To the point where he was addicted to them. And then like he got burnt at the top of his scalp. And you just feeling nothing but pain, and that's when the painkillers come in, and it was to the point, man, like he got addicted to them. But like that's sad that this happened to him, bro. Like for real, he didn't deserve that, man.
As Michael descended the staircase, little did he know that a spark had ignited his hair. and it was not until he took his first spin at the bottom of the stairs that he realized he was in fact on fire. Frantically, Jackson cried out, "Tito, Tito!" to his startled older brother. A coat was quickly thrown over Michael's head, and an onslaught of crew members urgently smothered the flames. Quote, all his hair was gone and there was smoke coming out of his head. Jackson's longtime makeup artist, Karen Fay, testified. Quote, I never saw anything like that in my life. This was someone I knew, and he was on fire. Although the fire was put out quickly, pandemonium erupted in the auditorium as screams filled the hall. Crowds of teenage fans shouted, "Michael Jackson has been shot! Michael Jackson is dead!" In shock and screaming in pain, Jackson was swiftly escorted off stage and rushed to the hospital. While in Brotman Memorial, Michael Jackson was treated for a palm-sized patch of second and third-degree burns on his scalp, a serious injury, whereby recovery was expected to be a long and painful one. Although Jackson was considered lucky, as the incident could have easily caused serious burns to his face and proven fatal if the spark had set his clothes ablaze. According to his makeup artist, Michael Jackson suffered debilitating migraines in the wake of the accident. Powerful sedatives were also prescribed to the star in order to calm his nerves and help him sleep. Later that year, Michael Jackson was diagnosed with lupus, a long-term autoimmune disease in which the body's immune system becomes hyperactive and attacks normal, healthy tissue, often triggered by stress or a traumatic event. It has since been proven that the agony Jackson found himself in after the incident kick-started the prescription painkiller addiction that eventually snowballed, killing him years later. However, the most unsettling fact about this supposed freak accident is that Michael Jackson was exactly 25 years, 4 months, and 29 days old on the day of the Pepsi fire. Fast forward exactly 25 years, 4 months, and 29 days later, Michael Jackson took his last breath, meaning that this monumental trauma in Jackson's life took place exactly to the day at the halfway point of the King of Pop's life. Seems too much of a coincidence to be accidental. But what kind of explanation can you think of? As it has been well documented, Michael Jackson struggled with addiction for years to come, causing several brushes with death. On 2 separate occasions in 1993, the singer's personal maid during the 1990s said she and other staff members frequently stumbled across Jackson, quote, dead on a cocktail of prescription drugs. She said, quote, one day I knocked on his door but got no answer, so I went in to clean. He was lying on the bed, motionless, looking very pale. Quote, I called several times but he didn't answer. As I got closer, his eyes were open and he appeared not to be breathing. My heart sank as I thought he was dead, but then he came to suddenly. He didn't say a word, but burst into tears. She thought about calling for help, but had been warned before by the singer to not involve outsiders. She also revealed that another incident occurred just a few weeks later, when Michael's security guard found him lifeless at the edge of a swimming pool. Quote, the guard thought he was dead. He feared the worst, trying to wake him up by shaking and shouting at him. He couldn't find a pulse and he didn't appear to be breathing. Terrified his boss was dead, the worker radioed another guard, who performed life-saving treatment. Quote, Michael made his guards train in CPR, so they knew what to do. Michael Jackson became increasingly absorbed by the idea of overdosing and his own death. He would speak to his former wife, Lisa Marie Presley, about the gruesome details of her father's tragic demise. In 1997, he released a track named Morphine, which central themes were about the drug usage of Demerol.
I can breathe, I can eat, I can die in my sleep. You always live in my dream. In my isolation, right? Die in my sleep. It's a sound, right?
Michael Jackson reportedly died of overdoses 3 times in the 18 months before he passed away. It has even been claimed Michael enjoyed the sensation of having his heart restarted. One time, it was reported that they had to pump his stomach, and another time, use CPR. A source quoted by the National Enquirer stated, quote, once, after doctors finally managed to wake him up, Michael said he had died and gone to heaven, and it felt good. Michael said it was the most exhilarating experience of his life to have seen how things looked on the other side, then come back to Earth again.
Oh, this was dark. This was very dark. Very dark. You know, and I didn't know about some of these incidents. I knew about the Pepsi one. I knew about the Pepsi incidents. But these other ones I did not know about, like how his when he was coming up with Billie Jean, his car gets set on fire as he's driving and don't even know, and then the little kid was like, "Your car's on fire, man." What if that kid wasn't there, man? Man, it could have been tragic. You know what I'm saying? All these other incidents was pretty good. They were pretty new to me. I hope you guys watched it through with me at the end. Sorry about that. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all for sticking around. You know what I'm saying? Watching this with me. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video because I don't want to do too much talking. If you guys like this video, give this video a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to click that bell. You know what I'm saying? When you be notified when I do make new videos. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget to leave a comment. And I've been your boy Nick, and I'll see you in the next video, bruh. Peace.